What's up, gamers? Enforcer 5150 here, and I had a problem this week, or actually the last 2 weeks, but the RGB on my RTX 2080 Ti did not work. So what we're going to do is we're going to get that fixed today, and actually get it working for a very expensive card. It should work. Let's get that intro rolling. All right, so you may think it was pretty simple, but obviously you want to make sure you check all your cables, and that was like my main thing. Everything was perfectly set up. I mean, the connections were fine, everything was stable, the card was in exactly how it needed to be, and I just still had absolutely no RGB no matter what I did, and it's only on the graphics card. Now this fix that I'm going to do is kind of drastic, but it should work for pretty much any graphics card that uses RGB. But as you look, I'm going to start it up here, and you'll see that it should actually, right here, it should actually light up right now with this is normal lights and everything when you start up the computer, and then when it dies down, obviously they will turn off as the fans slow down. So this right now, it should actually work. So we're going to go ahead and search for Nvidia, get rid of your Nvidia experience. We'll reinstall it later, but you need to install that and any other drivers with it. Just get rid of them. Because that is I don't know why it shouldn't affect your BIOS, but it does. You just want to make sure you get rid of those, uninstall it, uninstall the audio driver and the PhysX. Now we're gonna go into the BIOS, and this part is pretty self-explanatory. But as you see, my dock is disabled. That should be like that. If you're using an ASUS motherboard, you'll have, or not ASUS, but an Aura motherboard, you should see the Aura on and off up here. Now just make sure that it's on when you finish resetting your BIOS, because you just want to basically load the defaults of your motherboard, your graphics card and everything else. That's fine. You don't have to do any tuning. Just go into your advanced mode, and it'll be different for any other motherboard that you have. But you just want to make sure you load the optimized defaults. Or sorry, actually, you're going to go to your main screen or your exit. It'll usually give you the load optimized defaults. You go ahead and load those optimized defaults, save it, and reset. And that should bring us to being able to reset like the BIOS, because what's happening with the RGB not working is it's not recognizing your graphics card as it should. Now once you get back in, it may not work right away, and when you get back in, if you have it like I have it using the Nvidia color settings, you want to switch that and make sure that it's using the default color settings. You can switch it later on. This is just to make sure that you get everything running, because these other settings here usually or can actually mess with your RGB for some reason, and it really shouldn't. I'm completely baffled myself on why it's having this problem. But I just went ahead and set it to the default. I made sure that the 3D settings and everything was default. You just want to make sure you have everything kind of like default, like when you first got your motherboard and your graphics card. So if you're getting a new graphics card or something like that, you want to uninstall your drivers. You want to install, install the graphics drivers, the Nvidia experience, just everything Nvidia. Get rid of it. And once you do that, your G-Sync should come up. Make sure you have it enabled for windowed and full screen. And if you don't have a G-Sync monitor, that's okay. It's not going to make any difference. Anyway, you just want to go ahead and apply this. And sorry, I actually forgot to mention that that's after you install the default driver. And I'm talking about like the default. Like Windows goes ahead and searches and finds its own driver. Once you do all that and you're using just the Windows driver for your graphics card, your Nvidia driver for your graphics card, or from Microsoft, everything should run. Now, with my card, you have to have something running for it to show, or when it reboots, or when it boots, you'll see it. But you can see now it's showing up here. Before, it was not showing up under your Aura sync. It wasn't like being registered at all. And then bam, there we go. We actually have RGB again. And I don't know exactly which part of this did. This was basically the way that I was able to get everything running again, and it could be completely different for somebody else's system. That's why I say to go through all of them. Uninstall the graphics driver, uninstall your Nvidia experience. That part is important. The Nvidia experience seems to be part of the reason why it started happening, because I remember that it was giving me an error that I needed to, oops, it was giving me an error that I needed to restart Nvidia experience to do something. It was like it wasn't able to load. I can't remember the exact error, but it kept on giving me that error, and that's where I was like, oh, that must have been when it started, because after that point I noticed that my RGB wasn't working, and it's always worked before, and it was also working on my i9 system, which had the same card, and I just put it in, it ran, and it's fine. Granted that it does use the same RGB system, where this is, not using the same type. I think this one's using R-Sync, and the other one, or the graphics card, is using Mystic, or Fusion 2.0 for this card. So that is one of the main reasons I say just to uninstall everything. You don't need to uninstall your software. I kept on reading forums where like, oh, uninstall the software, uninstall AuraSync or RGB Fusion, and that just didn't work. I mean, yeah, it's kind of trash software, but that was not the problem that was causing everything. But as you can tell, everything's working as it needs to, and I am very much happy with it. Anyway, we do have more videos coming up soon. We'll be going ahead and playing Modern Warfare. Hopefully I will have that tomorrow, as it is releasing late tonight, and we'll have the pre-order set and we can actually get to some gaming. I'll probably do quite a bit with that one. I'll do the RTX 2080 Ti, the 2080, the i9, the 2700X. We'll do some, I don't know if they have the benchmark, but we'll be sure to do at least performance gameplay with that, and I have a feeling I'll be playing that quite a lot. I've been playing PUBG a lot, and that one has been working out pretty well for me. Anyway, let me know if you've had this problem yourself, or you're having something similar with your RGB. It may not be the same fix that will work for you. It should work for almost all, but let me know in the comments if you had this problem, or if you're having another type of problem. I'll try to help you the best I can. Usually I can troubleshoot most of these types of issues and get it fixed, but you paid a lot of money for this your graphics card. You want it to work how it's supposed to work. It doesn't affect the performance, but it affects the aesthetics, I would say, to it. Anyway, that's all we're going to do for this video. I want to say thank you for watching today. Make sure you hit that like button, definitely subscribe if you're new to the channel. You all take care, and happy gaming.